Alright, so this is my Spirit Beast deck. Under the right conditions, of course, it's an OTK deck by using Bond with the Spirit Beast. I use Kana Hawk. Once per turn, you can banish a Spirit Beast card that includes spells and traps from your deck. And during your second standby phase after this card's activation, add that card to your hand. And all the Spirit Beasts have the condition where you can only special summon them once per turn. That means from deck, out of play, graveyard, hand, stuff like that. So it's like anytime there's special summon for that, that's the one special summon for that turn. I don't like that part of the effect. It really messes up the deck by being once, because of the fact that you could actually special summon a lot in this deck, so it really does hurt that you're restricted to one special summon per each copy of these monsters. But anyway, of course, Hawk is my favorite because it helps me, thin out my deck and helps me get closer to my combos. Especially if I want to, perform the OTK, I want to get my bond with the Spirit Beast, so I'll banish that. If I want to create another fusion monster, so a combo you'll do is you'll play any of the monsters, but mainly Tamer if you're going first. Summon Elder Tamer, right? Use his effect to summon Hawk. Use Hawk's effect to banish another Elder Tamer. Right? Then contact fuse, banish the two monsters to special summon from your extra deck. Mount Apelio, and then activate Mount Apelio's effect. Put him back in the extra deck to special summon back Elder and Hawk. After you already use Hawk's effect the first time, now since Hawk is on the field again, you can activate his effect again. So then you activate his effect, and then you can banish another copy of Hawk. So you have an Elder and a Hawk out of play. And then in the next 2 turns, you'll add them to your hand. One thing to keep in mind is that you have to, when you play and act with real cards, right? Try to separate the cards you banish with Hawk's effect from the rest of your monsters that you banish, right? Reason why is because if you return one of the monsters you banish with Hawk's effect will no longer apply. So in 2 turns, you will not get that card back. So anytime you special summon that monster that you banish by Hawk's effect to the field, it will reset the effect, which is you will get no effect. Like, you won't get to add them to your hand. And the idea is to add, obviously to your hand in 2 turns, Tamer, Elder Tamer, and Hawk, so you can create enough fusion and be able to banish another Tamer, another Hawk, so you can keep doing the combo. So that's what you want to do. So that's a good way of using Hawk, is to banish him, use his effect, then banish him for special summon, then bring him back, use his effect again. So you can get 2 monsters out of play that you can use in the next 2 turns to make a monster, to make a fusion. So keep that in mind. I got Dolphin, not the dolphin. It's a dolphin, but it's a pedofin. That doesn't sound right. Pedophile, right? Pedofin. So I'll just call him Dolphin. Personally, I don't like this card. Currently its effect doesn't work in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, and second, its effect is not really that good in the first place. No, its effect is good. What I hate is that it doesn't work. This is not the one I hate. The one I hate was the penguin. My bad. I do like this one. Once per turn, you can banish 1 spirit card from your hand. Target 1 card your opponent controls, return to hand. That's actually pretty good, because it wouldn't be a problem for you to banish like a copy of the spell, which I know it won't let me do that. It won't even let me use any monsters. So hopefully they fix that. But use the effect to banish one of the, one copy of your spell to get that effect, and that's a pretty good effect. Lets you target 1 card your opponent controls, return to hand. So obviously you'll use it on synchros, XYZs, fusions, things of that nature. So it's actually a good card. It's the penguin that I don't like. So that's a good card. Once that effect actually works. And it has 0 attack, so if it ever ends up in the graveyard, you can use the Breeze Dragon and bring it back. You can go into a rank 4 play, or once they errata the Breeze Dragon, you can go into a synchro play and create these bad boys. Then we got, of course, Elder. After he's normal summoned, you can normal summon 1 spirit monster in addition to your normal summon set, so that's pretty good. So you summon him, and then you can summon any of your other spirit monsters. Typically, you'll bring out the ones that, you know, they're not a tamer. Spirit Beast Tamer, Lara. She's nice. I like her defense, but her effect I don't like. Personally, I wish her effect was just like the Elder, where you summon her, then you can summon any of the, you know, beast monsters, and then you can go into your synchro play. Into your fusion play. That's the way she should have been, but they gave her the ability to bring back from the graveyard. So it's like, that's nice, but not really necessary. Because sometimes I get confused. I'll summon her, expecting to summon another one, and then it's like, oh shit, I forgot this is the one that grabs from the grave. And then she has a 2000 defense on top of that, which is nice. She has 2000 defense. The Dolphin has 2000 defense, so it's pretty decent, especially when you're if somebody tries to like fissure or tries to destroy one of your fusions, or even try to use Sky Blast on one of your fusions, you can swap out your fusion, bring her back and the Dolphin back in defense mode. They both have 2000 defense, so your opponent Sky Blaster won't be able to run them over. So that's pretty cool, right? Where I'm at, and then I'm using Flying Kamakiri #1. There are other Spirit Beasts that's coming out later. Waiting until the Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro updates and add those, and I'll experiment with them. But for now, since I'm not really a big fan of the Penguin, doesn't really do much for me. I'm using Flying Kamakiri #1 instead because it can help me get Hawk, which I really do like. It also can help me get the Dolphin, which is decent. You know, it can give me any one of these because their attacks are less than 1500. So this dies, I can bring out any of these. Plus, it's good, you know, defense. It dies, brings out another one, dies, brings out another one, it dies. I can bring out any one of these bad boys. I even did a thing where I attacked with this to another monster that had 1400 attack, Bunkheads, killed it, and then brought this out, then used this as a effect, and started my combos. Bond with the Spirit Beast. It lets me take 2 monsters on my side, 2 Spirit Beast monsters on my side of the field, throw them back into the extra deck. Banish them, and then special summon out a fusion from my extra deck. So we got like that. This will also apply if you have 2 fusions out on the field. You know, you attack with them, deal damage, then you can bounce both of them back into the extra deck. Banish them, and then special summon one of the spirit monsters. Obviously, you'll bring out Mount Apelio out and attack with it. So it can help you perform OTKs. Also, it's useful for helping you dodge some stuff. An example would be like if you summon Tamer and then your opponent doesn't respond, and it allows you to summon, let's say, another monster, and then they'd be like Trenchel. So then you could play this card, banishing the 2 monsters to bring out the Big Dolphin fusion. Since the Big Dolphin fusion's ability is it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So there you go. It'll come out, Trenchel will resolve, not destroying the fusion, and then after that you can use the fusion ability to special summon back your 2 monsters, then banish them again just for a regular fusion, and then you can bring out your Mount Apelio, and there you go. That's a good way of avoiding Trenchel, for example. In a scenario where you have the fusion on the field and you attack and somebody mirror forces, you can use the fusion's effect to bring out the two monsters. They'll be in defense mode, so the mirror force won't destroy them. And then after mirror force resolves, then you can play the spell card to banish them, and then bring back the fusion again, and then attack, and still get your attack through. So these are the type of avoidance effects you can do. So that's what's pretty cool about this deck. This archetype is that it's the avoidance ability, similar to Wind Up Rabbit, where you could dodge things like Torrential, Mirror Force, Deep Prison, Compulse, Karma Cut, Wing Blast. Obviously, there's a lot of cards you can respond to because these are supposed to be 2 abilities. So the fact that you can chain and swap out to avoid cards that are the target or don't target, whatever, it doesn't matter. I use this ability against Space-Time Trap Hole. Summon the fusion, and then my opponent tries to play Space-Time Trap Hole, so then I'll bounce my fusion back into extra deck, so the card has his trap card has no effect. I bring out my 2 monsters. His trap card resolves with no ability, so he doesn't lose life, and then I just banish the monsters again, bring back out the fusion, and do what I want to do with the fusion, which is usually attack, of course. Emergency teleport helps me get my tamers out on the field fast, so that's the main thing, just to speed up the whole contact, because you're trying to get to mount a paleo as fast as possible. So that's what that's there for. Nobleman of Extermination helps you get rid of traps. Beta helps you get rid of traps. MST helps you get rid of anything else you need to get rid of, spells and traps like field spells, continuing spells, pendulum monsters, whatever you need to get rid of. Red screen for defense, in case your opponent manages to find a way to stop your combos, and you have to stall for a bit to get your effects off and to get your monsters so you can make another fusion. Red screen comes in handy for that. Wing Blast helps you get rid of anything you need to get rid of that can't be destroyed by battle card effect. Spirit Wind Art. This card obviously does work well for her because you can tribute any one of your wind type monsters for this effect, and then use her to bring them back and then fuse. So I mean, she still works. Just not a fan of the ability though, but she works. It kind of looks like she's actually in the card's image, right? But this is a really good card because it puts the card on the bottom of the deck, while this one puts it on top. So this is really good because sometimes you don't want stuff in the grave, you'd rather have them back in the deck. And then the Breeze Dragon, in case any of these monsters end up in the graveyard. This one, you can use the Breeze Dragon to bring them back and then synchro into one of these options. We got the obvious Exciton Sky Blaster 101, generic powerful rank force. We got Samsara. It's useful for just 2600 defense. Also has the ability when it's destroyed to grab a monster from the graveyard and special summon to your side of the field. So that's extra defense. Orient Dragon is useful. 2300 attack, pretty decent. And it can get rid of a synchro, especially if it's a synchro that can't be destroyed by battle card effect, or a synchro that's just stronger. Black Rose helps you clear the field. The way you would use this would be if you use the effect of Sacred Beast or any of the fusions, right, to bring back Lara Tamer, and what was the other one? Okay, let's say you have Lara Tamer and you have, that's what it was. Let's say you have Lara Tamer on the field, 2000 defense, protecting you. Then you summon the Breeze Dragon and grab the Elder Tamer from the graveyard. Right there, you got 7, and there's how you can make Black Rose. That's the idea. If you want to make Stardust, Hot Red, and Scrap Dragon, before, you know, the errata, so you can just use that when it gets errata. You want to have this on the field, summon the Breeze Dragon to summon another one from the extra deck, or you can use emergency teleport, bring one from the deck onto the field. Now you got a 2, 2, and a 4. That's 8 right there, and you can make any one of these 3. Stardust, Hot Red, or Scrap Dragon. And they have really good effects, obviously. I got 3 Mount Apelio and 3 Mount Pedalfin. This is my offense, this is my defense. There is another fusion in the archetype, but not a fan of its effect or its stats, so not really necessary. The main goal is to get Mount Apelio out, attack, deal damage, bounce back to the extra deck to special summon the materials, use this to remake them, and then attack again and deal a lot of damage and potentially OTK your opponent, or at least weaken them enough that you could OTK them. That's definitely what you want to do, get them weak so you could beat them. And that's the I already mentioned the Dolphin has the ability that it can't be destroyed by a card effect, and it has 2800 defense, so that's really good. This, I never mentioned this part of its effect, but it's, if this card attacks, it is unaffected by other card effects until the end of the damage step, so that's really useful because you don't have to worry about stuff like Deep Prison, Mirror Force. Let's see, anything that has to do with battle, so he's just really good. And that's the end of the deck profile.